Hello, this is Stan Kincaid, and in this video I'll be showing you the different parts of the eye shown in this figure here, as well as the functions and a few mnemonics to help you remember them. Okay, first on our list is the medial rectus, which is seen as this muscle here. Now the medial rectus is the muscle that moves the eye laterally, or away from the body's midline. This works with the lateral rectus. They work together to move the eye left and right. Next on the list is the sclera, which is the outermost layer of the eye, which is continuous as the cornea and seen as the white portion of the eye. It is used for protection. So it's this tan thing you see right here. So when I hear the word sclera, I kind of think of the word glare because they kind of sound alike. So when I think of glare, I think of the glare of a phone screen, as you can see here. Now, the glare off a phone screen is white and shiny, just like the sclera, and it's off the surface of the phone, and the sclera is like the surface of the eye, so that's how I remember that. Okay, so up next is the optic disc, which is just around here. The optic disc is the region in the retina of the eye where nerve fibers exit to become part of the optic nerve. Next is the optic nerve, which is this kind of tannish color thing. The optic nerve, it transfers visual information from the retina to the visual centers of the brain. So light comes in onto the retina, where rods and cones, sense the light and send the information down the optic nerve to the brain. Next is the fovea centralis, which is right here. The fovea centralis is a region of the retina consisting of densely packed cones that provides the greatest visual acuity. Next up is the posterior cavity, which as you see is this large red and orange space here. Now the posterior cavity is filled with a thick fluid called vitreous humor. So these two work together to provide support and cushioning for the entire eyeball itself. Next is the retina, which is the inner layer of the eye that contains visual receptors known as rods and cones. So it's the innermost layer of the eye, and as light comes in, it goes on the rods and cones. So that's what the retina is. To remember the retina, I think of the word like red tin, because it kind of sounds like red tin. I don't know, just kind of sounds alike. So I just imagine a big like red cookie tin making up the retina. Next is the choroid coat, which is the vascular pigmented middle layer of the eye. So this is the eye wall, and it's this kind of pinkish color right here. So what it does is it provides blood flow to the eyeball so that the cells get the nutrients that they need. Now I've already spoken about the vitreous humor, so next are the suspensory ligaments, which you can see here as these little white lines. So the suspensory ligaments are just small ligaments that hold the lens in place and make sure it doesn't move. These are very fragile and can be broken very easily. Next is the iris. Now the iris is the colored, muscular portion of the eye that surrounds the pupil and regulates its size. So it's this kind of bluish color right here. Now when I think of the word iris, it's just one letter away from the word Irish. So that's how I remember it. And when I think of Irish, I think of, leprechauns and four-leaf clovers in the color green. So I just remember that the iris is very colorful. Next up is the cornea, which you can see here as this outer layer. The cornea is a clear protective surface layer of the eye. Now it bends to kind of focus the light onto the lens. So when I hear the word cornea, I think of corn. And so I always imagine, in the cartoons when people are surprised, their eyes kind of look like this. They're all poked out, and they're kind of shaped like corn, as you can see here. So cornea, corn, pretty easy. Just remember that the cornea is like bending right here in the shape of corn. So that's how I remember it. Up next is the pupil. The pupil is the opening in the iris, which allows light to pass and shine on the retina. So it's pretty simple. It's just the the black spot in the middle of your eye. Up next is the lens, which is this disc-shaped object here. So the lens focuses the light passing through the pupil onto the retina, allowing eyesight. So when I hear the word lens, I think of lentils, which are little seed things that look like this. Now they're flat discs and they look extremely similar to the lens itself. So that's how I remember it. After that is the aqueous humor. Now the aqueous humor is watery fluid that fills the anterior cavity of the eye. So the anterior cavity is made up of the anterior chamber and the posterior chamber. The anterior chamber is this front part here, which is a space filled with aqueous humor, anterior to the iris and the pupil, while the posterior chamber is also filled with aqueous humor and it surrounds the lens. Now lastly is the ciliary body, as I've already talked about the lateral rectus. Now the ciliary body is this pink structure right here on either side of the eye. The ciliary body is a structure associated with the choroid layer of the eye, because it's continuous with it, and it secretes aqueous humor and contains the ciliary muscle.